Missouri is suing China over the coronavirus. I believe, if nothing else, it's pretty much symbolic. It's not like a Chinese representative is going to show up in court and whatnot. That's not what's going to happen. But it's more symbolic than anything else. It's like those cases where someone sues something and they're asking for $1 or they're asking for an apology type thing. It's just something to bring light to it and show the world your disdain for the situation. But yeah, Missouri is suing China over coronavirus impacts, saying the country did little to stop the spread of the disease. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Days and days. They say 6 days. No. I've seen things that go back to November of 2018 saying that they knew what was going on. They had started to play with this thing. They were getting samples of MERS and E. coli and Ebola and things like that, transporting them through our airports, not declaring them. Then when they were getting busted, saying that they were antibodies, the United States Border Patrol, being the curious individuals that they are, tested it, found out that they were actually viable samples of these dangerous diseases. So no, you can't tell me for a minute that China didn't know all this was going on as they were testing it. And yeah, no. All they did is show their incompetence. But let's read this. CNN. Missouri is suing the Chinese government and other top institutions for the role they played in the coronavirus pandemic and the effects it has had on the state, accusing the country of covering up information, silencing whistleblowers, and doing little to stop the spread of the disease, Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt announced on Tuesday. And he's absolutely right. Covering up information. We'll go with what the official numbers are, even though I believe it's a lot longer than that. But 6 days, 6 very precious days where they said nothing. They tried to cover it up. They told the World Health Organization all kinds of crap. The World Health Organization, like little puppets, told the world what China wanted to spew. We may as well have called it the China Health Organization, the China Health Organization. And yeah, whistleblowers, yeah, the doctor. We all remember him, right? The doctor in China that came out and said, hey, there's this thing coming out and it could be a pandemic. And then he disappeared for a couple days and it came out that he had been arrested. And then he came out with a statement saying that what he'd said was absolutely false. And then he ended up dying of it. So, yeah. At least 6,105 people have been confirmed to have the virus in Missouri. And at least 229 have died, according to numbers from Johns Hopkins University. And these freaking numbers, depending on where you go to get your numbers, are just all over the place. Do we have a 0.1 to a 0.3 mortality rate, like the hot mic from the White House press release between Doug Mills and John Roberts? Or do we have the 2 to 3% that the World Health Organization was saying? I don't know, man. The numbers are just all over the place. It's just so bizarre that we can't get any kind of grasp on solid numbers. Schmidt, in his official role as Attorney General of Missouri, filed a civil lawsuit in federal court in the Eastern District of Missouri. The lawsuit is the first of its kind, and it claims Chinese authorities deceived the public. Yes. Suppressed crucial information. Yes. Arrested whistleblowers. Yes. Denied human-to-human transmission in the face of mounting evidence. Yes. Destroyed critical medical research. I don't know about that one. Permitted millions of people to be exposed to the virus, yes. And even hoarded personal protective equipment. Absolutely. They hoarded personal protective equipment for a long time. They had all their companies send everything back and buy up medical equipment in the respective countries that they were located in and send them back to China, thus causing a global pandemic that was unnecessary and preventable. Was it preventable? Yes, they should have never got their damn grubbies in it in the first place. They were trying to show that they are just as good as the United States in handling dangerous infectious diseases. Well, congratulations, China. You've shown the world that you are incompetent in many areas. Legal experts have said the lawsuit faces an uphill battle because China is protected by sovereign immunity. CNN is reaching out to the Chinese government for comment. Even if it was found out that, the court or whatever entity they go to says, yeah, China is absolutely guilty, there's nothing anybody can do. You're not going to squeeze blood out of a stone. You're not going to have China, pay up. They're not going to do it. It's its own nation. They're going to look at you and be like, yeah, and It also alleges Chinese leaders did little to curb the spread of the virus, still allowing thousands of people to travel to and out of Wuhan. Yeah, absolutely they did. Absolutely they did. December, just after December 13th, you know, and they were still letting people go, but they'd already had a week, a minimum of a week, knowledge that it had gotten out. And they downplayed it. They wanted to control it. You know, they wanted the world to look at them and be like, oh, look at China. They not only can they handle infectious diseases that are really dangerous, and they can study them well, just like the United States, but they can contain them too. Yeah, let's see if anybody trusts you to do anything like this again. The filing also outlines how officials initially cracked down on medical professionals who posted information about the virus. Yes, including Dr. Wen Liang, who died. Yeah, I know. So tragic. God bless it. Who was accused of rumor mongering by the Wuhan police after sharing information about a new illness with his medical school alumni group. Wen Liang later died of the virus. Yeah. He tried to warn us. Chinese government arrested him, made him put out a statement saying that he was hoaxing us, and then he died of it. Congratulations, China. You're an authoritative regime. I'm going to give a shit about anybody. The state also alleges China hoarded PPE while concealing the outbreak and that the small amounts they have released have been faulty. Yes, they have. They have sold and they've made millions of dollars selling faulty personal protective equipment to Spain, Italy, France. In fact, it is to the point where Spain, Italy, and France are not accepting any shipments of personal protective equipment from China because they're faulty, which is also suspect. Here you have this conglomerate that manufactures this personal protective equipment every year by the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And every year they're fine, until we get to this point. And then they have all their companies send all their ventilators and all their masks back to the motherland. And then when the world is short on PPE, they're selling personal protective equipment to the world that is absolutely faulty. Ventilators aren't working. Masks are missing layers that make them ineffective. Come on now. These are machines that are making this personal protective equipment being assisted by humans in certain areas. Some of the stuff may be handmade, but a lot of it is machines, and you're telling me that they're all of a sudden now making faulty equipment after all this time? That's highly suspect to me. If it's not, then someone call me out on it and say that I'm being a hyperbolic, I'm being a conspiracy theorist, I'm being something. Or if you agree with me and be like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Here they produce all this good stuff for years and years and years and years. And next thing you know, when we need it, they're selling us faulty crap after they've had all the good stuff sent back to China? We need to get off China's tit, man. Those among other actions taken by Chinese officials have had a massive toll on human life and health has led to enormous economic disruptions across the world, according to the lawsuit. I wonder what would happen if multiple countries joined in on like some sort of worldwide lawsuit, what we could possibly do, if anything. I don't know. Anyways, that's what I got. Will this go anywhere? Do I expect anything to come out of this? Not a bit. It's saber rattling. It's someone showing their disdain, their anger at who they believe is wrong, and I believe that they're right, that China is wrong. I believe that a lot of this is China's fault. They should have said something. They didn't. And the world is suffering because of it. It would be cool if we could find something like some sort of a, I don't know, entity that can sue other governments, and then when the money from the government is collected, it's distributed to the people, the populace, in whatever, I don't know, equipment they need or something. Who knows? There's not going to be anything coming of this, though. Not at all. Anyways, I love you guys. I will see you on the next one, and you stay informed.